Hey, good evening, everyone. Happy Saturday night. I hope you had a great day. Oh, sorry, I'm shaking my phone a little bit. I hope you had a great day here. It is almost 11 o'clock, or it is 11 o'clock. And I wanted to come live for a couple of minutes and chat with you guys as I wrap up my day and get ready to go to bed. But I didn't want to not come live because I'm really excited. As you guys know, I was doing my 75-day challenge that ended yesterday. And when I went live yesterday, the day was not complete. I couldn't finish it off because it was Shabbat. I couldn't, give the final complete. But I am really, 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 really excited because yesterday it finished it off, and I did it. I hit those 75 days. My whole chart is complete, all the way down there, all the way to the bottom, and I rocked my day yesterday, and it feels so amazing, so good. And this is a really, like, you guys might, I don't know, think, oh, what's the big deal? But I'll have to tell you, one of the things that I have really struggled with, that I really struggle with a lot, is making a commitment to myself and actually sticking to it. For those of you all who have followed me for a while, I've had a history of I'll start something, I'll start a 30-day challenge, or I'll start a this, or I'll start a that, and I do well in the beginning, and then I sort of taper off, which is totally natural and normal and human behavior. And I'm guessing that if you guys are, most of you, and you can put it in the comments, if you've ever done that, made a commitment to yourself, said, I'm going to do something for a certain amount of time, and then you start off really, really, really strong, and then part of the way through, at some point, it just dies. And when I started this 75-day challenge for myself, I said, I'm not going to do that this time. And it's, and I knew it was going to be hard. I knew it was really going to be hard because that is my old bad habit of things, that I start things and I get going and I have all this gusto and I'm really excited about it. And then it sort of dies off. And I fall into the I'm fine, especially in things like this. When I'm doing things about improving my health, I get feeling great and I get into the I'm fine, and then it sort of fades off. But I was really determined not to let that happen this time. And the truth is, there were a few people that started this challenge with me that all said, when I announced it, said, I want in, give me your chart. And they started, and same natural habit, the things that I fell into the last time, and they sort of died off. But I made a commitment, and I made a commitment to myself that no matter, even when I have mess up days, and you can see on there are days that aren't perfect. You can see the little dots throughout. And the days that there had circles that I just didn't hit it. But I didn't let that derail me, which it would have in the past. Can I say that it's never going to derail me again in the future? I have no idea. It probably will, because it's something that I think we all struggle with. But I'm really, really this was a big pride for me last night when I went to bed on time. Actually, it was early because Friday nights I always go to bed early, and knew that I was going to be able to cross off those last few things that I just couldn't physically cross off because it was Shabbat. And I felt so good. It felt so amazing to finish it. And I'll tell you, the idea that today started my start of my 9-day hustle to the hustle, because our 66-day healthy habit hustle starts next Monday, the 26th. And I started this, and I'll tell you, going to bed last night, I've got all those. The last things that I've got to cross off are my bed on time and my progress photo, which I will do right before I go to bed. It sort of scared me a little bit because I'm like, oh my gosh, I've done 75 days of this. I just need a breather. Like, maybe I just, can I do this for another 75 days? And the truth is, I know I can. I've proven to myself that I can do this, and that's what this does. Success begets success begets success. And so, and what I'm really excited about this next part is, first of all, there's a bunch of people who have jumped onto my 9-day hustle to the hustle with me. But the fact that, going into the 66-day healthy habit hustle, and the reason why I didn't start it as another 75 days, which would take me to the same spot as the 9 plus 75. 9 plus 66 would take me to 75. So either way, it works out the same. But I knew that I needed this time. I really need the strong community. I really need the people that are doing this with me, that we're all doing it together, because that's what we need. We need to do this together. We need a sense of community. We can't feel like we're alone, because there were definitely times in this 75 day that I felt alone. But the reason why I didn't really feel totally alone was because I was posting online, and I was getting all kinds of cheers, and I was getting private messages asking how it was going, and I was getting people that, even if they weren't doing it, I felt like they were part of it. So this my 9-day hustle, you can see, so I changed some of the stuff around a little bit on the top, because we've made it so that it's for everybody, and we have 4,000 people in our client support group that this is open to. So I made it so that this could be something that everybody could do. But I wrote in on some of the things, some of my own notes of goals and things that I wanted to make sure I stuck to. So you can see those little things up at the top. But one of the changes that were made on this, that was added to it, was, you guys have been watching for the last 75 days. I was writing my 3 wins every day in my journal. And this journal is actually a gratitude. It's for wins and for gratitude. It had spots for that. But I was just doing my wins for the last 75 days. And that is so powerful. Stopping and, working on your wins every day, finding your wins every day. But having gratitude every day really also is super important. And I actually start my day every morning with asking myself, when I wake up in the morning, making myself think about before I even get out of bed. First thing I do is I say there's a blessing that you say in the morning that thanks God for giving you your soul back in the morning. So that's the first thing I say when I open my eyes. But then before I get out of bed, I think about 3 things that I'm grateful for starting that day. But I never really put them down. I never really write them in this journal. I never did that. But I added to this chart, as I'm running this, I added that to the chart because I think it's really important to start your day with gratitude, or to, at some point, whether you're starting your day with gratitude or whether you're adding that in, to really sit down and write that out. So on this chart, in addition to the 3 wins, it also has 3 things of gratitude. So I thought about it last week and I was like, well, I could just start adding it into this journal, which, by the way, I happen to love this journal. So if you're looking for a good journal and a good place to jot a few things down, I'll show you what a blank page looks like in it. Blank pages look like this. So, it says Thursday well, you can see it starts every day, Sunday through Friday, but you can see this page, Thursday, good things that happen. So that's where I write my wins. And then in the little circle that I'm grateful for, it wasn't really a big enough circle. Sometimes I write stuff in there, but my wins sometimes take over that whole area. So I decided I was going to get myself a special gratitude notebook too. So I ordered myself on Amazon. I love my Amazon. This is just about gratitude. It says, good days start with gratitude. And this is going to be my thing. So I added that. So in the mornings, I'm going to start my morning, not just by thinking about the things that I'm grateful for, but by writing them down every day for the next, it'll be 75 days, 9 days in the hustle to the hustle, and then 66 days in the healthy habit hustle. So I'm really excited to continue using this one for my wins and adding the other one. But these are so important. Creating new healthy habits. When I look back on those 75 days and I look at the things and how my life has changed, on my list, some of these things were easy things. My water, I have no problem getting my water in. But some clients that I work with really struggle with getting their water in. Getting my healthy motion in. That's no big deal for me. I love to go for a walk. Some days it's a little bit harder. But there were other things that were on this list that were a little bit harder for me. But they have now, because I've done it for 75 days straight, and it takes 66 days to hit it, to create a new habit. And because I hit that 66 days and pushed on, it's really become a habit. The big one is my bedtime. It's huge. And this week on Wednesday, during the day, I'm actually going to be going live with a sleep specialist. We're going to be talking about the benefits of healthy sleep and how it affects everything in your life. I'm really excited about it. So noon on Wednesday, noon Eastern time on Wednesday. Come, if you can't be on live, then it'll be on my timeline, so you'll be able to see it. And I'll definitely be talking about it a little bit more this week. But that was a big one for me this week, creating that new habit of going to bed on time. That's hard. That was hard for me, really hard for me. I'm a night owl. I love it right now. The whole house is quiet. Everybody else is asleep, and I can get stuff done, and I can think, and I can process. But I know how much better I feel when I get good, healthy sleep. So that was really, really an amazing thing for me. And even my wins. I've been writing my wins for a long time, but I hadn't done it, I don't think, for 66 days or 75 days consecutively. I did it most days. I was pretty good most days, but it wasn't really a habit. Now, I've really made it that habit, and I'm really searching for my wins during the day, and I'm hoping that that's going to do the same thing with my gratitude piece, because some days we just don't feel so grateful. So I'm really excited for that to be a part of it. The other thing that I'm switching in my new hustle is on our hustle to the hustle, and in the 66 day, I have a dog sitting here. She wants some attention. In the 66 day, in my last one, it said 80 ounces of water. And what I was doing in my head was some of it was tea, some of it was water, but this time I'm really nailing down, and we put 64 ounces of water because that should be the goal for most people. And again, this was designed for everybody. So I want to make sure that I actually wrote on there 80 ounces, but 64 of them for sure have to be 100% have to be plain water. And actually my kids and I, we were having a discussion about this today, and we're going to be talking more about water this week as well. I'm going to be talking about all the macro habits and the advantages of them, but I'll share this with you for a minute. My kids and I were talking about water today, and one of my kids said, "Oh, I'm going to go make a cup of tea." And I looked at her and I said, "How many cups of tea have you had today?" And she chuckled. And I said, "How much real water have you had?" And she said, "I don't think I've had any." And I said, "Don't have tea. You need to have regular water." And she said, "But I like tea and it hydrates me." And I said, "You're right. It does hydrate you." I said, "But it's not the same thing." I said, would we water our plants with tea?" She said, "No." I said, "Would you bathe in tea?" And she said, "No." I said, "Okay, then you need to be drinking water, 64 ounces of regular water and then tea." And she was like, it clicked. Like, she realized what I was saying, that it's not the same. So if you rely on getting hydrated through tea or through other things, it's not the same. I'm going to tell you it's not the same. And we're going to be doing here a science experiment about that. With that, we're going to be watering some plants, some with plain water and some with tea and some with maybe some diet soda or some other things. I don't know exactly what we're going to use for it. We're actually probably going to wait till we get to Florida, where the weather is better and more consistently warm, to do this experiment. But it's something that we're going to be talking about and doing and showing everybody, because it's really important. So that water, is important. So what's on the Hustle to the Hustle list, and what will be on the 66-day healthy habit hustle? Stick to a food plan. Doesn't matter what your food plan is. I know what my food plan is. Your food plan might change. That you're going to, if I'm your coach, you're going to work with me as your coach to figure out what the right food plan is. Moving your body every day. What that movement is, that again will determine based on what your needs are. For me, it's my walking, but I probably am going to step it up as the winter goes on, because, we're doing some other stuff in Florida that, get that movement going. No off food plans. So for me, that rule is going to be, if it is not listed in my guidebook for what is on my program, I'm not eating it. That was my plan for the last 75 days, and I was really good about that. I was actually really good about that the whole time. Sometimes I would overboard and have a little bit more, which was not, that was a whole other thing, but that I'm sticking with that. 64 ounces of water, Habits of Health, working in my Habits of Health book, 5 minutes a day, writing my 3 items of gratitude and my 3 wins every day, getting to bed on time, and my progress photo every day. So you guys know my progress photo is reporting in that I've crossed everything off and being really honest about it. So I don't know how this next 75 days, the 9 days, the Hustle to the Hustle, and the 66-day healthy habit hustle, I don't know how it's going to go for me, but I am determined, and I know how amazing it feels to have hit this goal and to have stuck to my commitment to myself for 75 days. And it wasn't perfect. It's not perfect, but it was major, major progress. And the fact that I didn't quit on myself in the middle, that is huge. So if you are ready to end this year strong, if you are ready to go for it, if you are ready, to make some changes and build on your healthy habits, I would love for you to join me. And anybody who decides to join me this week, I have some special gifts for those people who are going to participate in the 66-day healthy habit hustle, who are ready to make it part of their life. And to celebrate to celebrate along, that we're going to make a commitment to ourselves, and we're going to have complete charts that are going to feel really good when we're done. So I hope you have a great night, and thank you for cheering me on through this whole thing. We're going to continue to celebrate, and stay tuned this week. I've got some really cool stuff coming. Like I said, I've got this live coming on Wednesday with a sleep specialist, and I've got some other stuff planned for the week to be getting excited about the 6-day healthy habit hustle. So I hope you have a great night, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.